Get ready because 2025 is shaping up to be a year of intense weather extremes across the United States. As we move into the colder months, the East and South are bracing for a winter like no other. Expect heavy snowfall, powerful storms, and frigid temperatures that could make this one of the most challenging winters in recent memory. Areas that rarely see significant snow may be caught off guard, so it's crucial to prepare for the unexpected. I'll show you the cold air in just a moment. You can also see the moisture feed coming in off the Pacific right through here. That's going to bring in the moisture. Timing is everything with weather, and we have a 1-2 punch. First, the front moves through quickly, allowing the cold air to rush in. Then the moisture catches up with that cold air, which leads to some snow in some very unusual places. I'll zoom in on that with the snow totals, which will be very specific just ahead. Here's the initial setup. The first front is sliding by, bringing some colder air in. You can see the tail end of it. Look at the northern Bahamas and through the Florida Keys. South Florida is experiencing some rain on the north side, and some snow has been affecting parts of New England and the Atlantic region of Canada. Now, zooming into Texas and parts of Mexico, you can see some moisture offshore from northeast Mexico and towards Texas. It's a little hard to see, but this green is the first sign of moisture lifting in. This moisture will move into the cold air, setting the stage for what's to come. On the south side of this system, the first front brings scattered rain near Belize and Honduras today. Some of that moisture will lift through the Yucatan Peninsula, and behind the front, there will be spotty showers in the Eastern Caribbean, which I'll highlight in a moment. Let's start with a wider view and then zoom in for more specifics. Later today, there's that front near Bermuda, the Atlantic region of Canada, the Bahamas, and Cuba close to Jamaica. That cold air is plunging in behind it with some Arctic air sweeping in from the north into Canada and the U.S. You can see the moisture feed with green on the map indicating rain. But look at what happens as it lifts into the cold air. It turns white, signaling snow. I'll slow this down in just a moment, but by tomorrow afternoon, snow will be falling close to the tropics, an unusual occurrence. Significant snow will fall in areas along Interstate 10 in the Florida Panhandle, stretching across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. By tomorrow night, the cold air will settle in, bringing snow to parts of the Carolinas. That part is trickier to predict as it's hard to determine how much moisture will be present, but there will still be some snow. Then towards the Georgia Panhandle and Florida, more snow will fall. By Wednesday afternoon, the front will slide by again, affecting the northern Bahamas. Some places that have had chilly nights will experience them again, including Cuba, the Cayman Islands, and Jamaica. The cold air will continue to move in as we get into Wednesday, followed by another system. Looking ahead, you can see this area moving off with the front clearing Bermuda and heading towards the Bahamas. As we get into Thursday, we'll keep an eye on moisture building again over Central America and the Gulf of Mexico. However, as we move further into the week, we'll see a more typical pattern with one system to watch heading into the weekend. By the weekend and next week, we expect areas of rain and snow across the United States, but further north, which means a bit of a warming trend. We'll get more of a southerly flow as we head back towards the Caribbean, which we'll highlight in more detail later. Now let's zoom in because this is such an unusual weather event. Here's the front for today with moisture moving into Houston and Baton Rouge. This moisture will lift into that cold air, which I'll show you in just a second. By tonight and tomorrow morning, parts of Houston may experience significant snow. However, there will be a sharp cutoff and some areas won't see any snow at all. It's a fine line when it comes to snow. The pink areas on the map could see a mix of rain and snow or sleet, which are ice pellets. Significant snow will fall in south central and southern Louisiana, which is unusual. It's rare to get a couple of inches of snow in this area, but it's happening. The snow will move towards southern Mississippi by tomorrow afternoon, affecting parts of the Florida Panhandle, particularly near Tallahassee. The snow will then move into Alabama and beyond. Toward Georgia, there could be a couple of inches of snow As we move forward by tomorrow night, it will be a close call for the Carolinas. Snow will be closer to the coast near the Atlantic, but a lot of the moisture will have moved away. Why? It just depends on how much moisture is left over, and there could be a mix of rain, snow, and even some sleet near Jacksonville. By Wednesday morning, snow is still possible in the colder areas of the Carolinas and Georgia. By Wednesday afternoon, all this action will move away, and we'll see scattered showers from the Florida Keys back toward the Bahamas. This will reinforce the colder air that will remain in place. Now let's zoom in on the snow totals. This map is a little tricky, so let me explain. The snow totals I'm referring to are not the same as the map here. It's just that the map is showing some unusual patterns. The green shading on the map indicates areas where we could see over 2 inches of snow. As you can see, right around Houston, we'll get some snow, but there will be a sharp cutoff. Let me zoom in a little closer to clarify. This is a high resolution map, and the white shading you see near Tampa is not snow. The data I'm looking at shows that snow will fall near Jacksonville, and the models suggest that the snow may extend a little further south than expected. This is because the Arctic air from the north has moved further south than anticipated. You can see that right on the edge of Houston and into southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and the southern parts of Alabama and the Florida Panhandle, as well as southern Georgia, there will be some snow. The green shading here shows up to 4 inches of snow, especially in southern Mississippi and southern Louisiana. There could be over 2 inches of snow in this swath stretching from Houston to the east. There will be lesser totals in the Carolinas, ranging from about 1 to 2 inches, but some areas could push up to 4 inches, especially in the coastal sections. This is a very unusual snow event, especially this far south near the tropics. Now, looking at the temperatures, the cold air is already in place, which is why we're seeing this unusual snow event. The bluish shading here represents the Arctic air that has moved in, bringing much colder temperatures. The moisture is lifting from Central America and moving into this cold air, which is fueling the snowstorm. As we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, the Arctic air will continue to push further south, which is why we will see snow even in the northern Gulf of Mexico. The cold air is right where the moisture is feeding in, and that's what is setting up this snow event for many unusual places over the next 2 to 3 days. On the south side of this system, the front is clipping by. The Bahamas will have hit or miss showers, and parts of the Caribbean, including Barbados, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. Lucia, Dominica, and Trinidad could see a couple of showers. Spotty showers will also build in parts of Central America and lift to the north, interacting with the cold air. You can see some rain in the Gulf of Mexico by tomorrow afternoon, lifting into the cold air. On the backside, there will be spotty showers around Antigua, Barbuda, Grenada, and St. Lucia. Vincent, as we work into Wednesday, the energy will shift northward with snow to the north. The front will move through the Yucatan Peninsula, the Cayman Islands, Cuba, and the northern Bahamas, bringing colder nights to those areas. By Wednesday afternoon, we'll see more spotty showers in places like the Cayman Islands and the Bahamas, with colder conditions settling in as the front moves further east. Let's talk about the lake effect snow, as I haven't discussed it much lately. We've been busy with the nor'easter and the big southern storm, but now that the nor'easter is moving out, it's time to focus on the Midwest, where lake effect snow is picking up. This afternoon, lake effect snow will intensify, especially along the western shores of Michigan in the usual spots and up into the UP Upper Peninsula. It will continue to be a non-stop event throughout the day and into tonight. By tomorrow morning, the lake effect will still be going strong, and this will continue into Tuesday afternoon. There's also a small clipper system moving into Minnesota, but it's not a major event. It may bring some light snow, flurries, or snow showers to parts of the region. That will then extend into Wisconsin, and by overnight, Tuesday into Wednesday, things will calm down a bit. The lake effect will still be the main source of snow during this period, with some decent snow totals expected. As for the Northeast, the nor'easter will continue to pull away, but lake effect snow will really ramp up this afternoon. The hardest hit area will likely be the Tug Hill Plateau in upstate New York. The reason for this is the wind direction. It will flow parallel to Lake Ontario, giving us a high impact lake effect snow event. In forecasting lake effect, we look at what's called fetch, which is the distance the wind travels over the water. The longer the fetch, the more moisture the lake effect has to work with, leading to heavier snow. Meanwhile, the West isn't out of the woods either. The threat of devastating wildfires looms large as dry conditions and gusty winds continue to sweep through the region. Fire season isn't over yet, so it's important to take the necessary precautions, especially if you live in areas prone to wildfires. The combination of drought and high winds creates the perfect storm for uncontrollable blazes, and staying informed could make all the difference. By this afternoon, we'll see a big snow streamer off the Tug Hill region. Continuing through the evening, even parts of Ontario will get snow showers with the lake effect snow cranking up. Overnight, the Tug Hill will be hit hardest, with snow totals possibly exceeding a foot, and in some areas up to 2 feet with drifts even higher. By tomorrow morning, the Tug Hill will still be getting heavy snow, while the rest of the Northeast remains fairly dry. By Tuesday afternoon, a small shortwave of energy may bring light snow showers to Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and surrounding areas in the Appalachian chain. As we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, the Tug Hill will still be snowing heavily. So, how much snow can we expect? Let's break it down. In Michigan and Wisconsin, expect light snowfall with up to half a foot along the western shores of Lake Michigan, and perhaps more in the Upper Peninsula and Thumb region, where some areas may see up to a foot of snow. The northern side of Michigan's peninsula could also see up to a foot of snow. On the western side, totals will likely be a bit lower, around 4 to 6 inches. Moving east, we can expect significant snowfall in the Tug Hill region, where 2 to 3 feet of snow could fall in the heart of the snow band. South of Buffalo, another foot or so of snow is possible. Some northwest flow snow will affect the mountains of West Virginia as well. All in all, this lake effect event is shaping up to be a big one. The southern snow and ice storm shaping up is indeed historic in nature, especially for areas in Louisiana and along the I-10 corridor. This storm is significant because it's rare for places like New Orleans to experience anything resembling a major snowstorm. The last time New Orleans saw measurable snow was in 2009, and that was less than an inch. So you can imagine how unusual it is for such a storm to be on the horizon now. This event is made possible due to a combination of factors. The cold air is already in place with an Arctic blast reaching deep into the Gulf Coast. On top of that, a piece of energy from the upper atmosphere is digging southward and interacting with the Gulf of Mexico, an area prone to baroclinic instability, meaning it is especially prone to precipitation. This energy interacting with the cold air sets the stage for significant snow and ice over parts of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Now, the forecast gets tricky when we look at the Carolinas. This is where the upper level features of the storm create a situation of divergence on one side of the trough, which brings lifting favorable for precipitation, and convergence on the other side, which brings sinking motion and drier conditions. Depending on which force dominates, the Carolinas could either get a larger snowstorm or a more limited event, with models currently leaning towards a lighter winter weather scenario for the region. As for the storm's timeline, the event is already underway, with light snow affecting the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, extending into parts of southern Kansas. As the day progresses, light rain will begin in South Texas, including the Houston metro area. The temperatures will drop quickly, and by tomorrow morning, freezing rain, sleet, and snow will begin in earnest, with the storm becoming particularly intense in southern Louisiana, including New Orleans and Baton Rouge. By Tuesday afternoon, the snow will gradually diminish in Texas, But Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama will continue to see snowfall into the evening, winding down around 10 p.m. The cleanup will begin soon after. How much snow and ice to expect? Ice. The biggest concern for ice accumulation is in Texas, where significant icing could cause power outages and hazardous travel conditions. Snow areas along the I-10 corridor are expected to see heavy snow, including Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and parts of southern Louisiana. The snow will gradually taper off from west to east by Tuesday night. Some areas, particularly along the I-10 corridor, could see several inches of snow, making this a rare and impactful winter storm for this region. This storm is shaping up to be a major winter weather event, especially in areas not accustomed to seeing snow and ice of this magnitude. Subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to stay informed. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you tomorrow.